Oh, what's going on, everybody? This is JD back with another JD Reviews. Today, my review is going to be on the company called Capital Courier Services. They are a courier-based services that I believe they are out of New Hampshire, United States, maybe New York. After 3 weeks, y'all, I'm done. I started at the company back on exactly on October 31st. I'm good. I was doing third shift, picking up deliveries for the Red Cross overnight. I don't mind driving third shift because I do other things throughout the day to help with that money. And it was good. It was going good at first. The gentleman told me 90 cents per mile for 3 boxes and under. Then he said $1 per mile, uh, 4 boxes and up. So I said, okay, cool. But in my mind, I was telling myself, I was saying, why not just make it even both ways? That way you don't have no discrepancies. Uh, so I was doing it for a few weeks. And since I had started, I always kept track of my miles because I had experience with Courier Net here in North Carolina. I had experience with that company. It was always an issue with pay. And I think that's why I've come to the conclusion of I prefer companies that have dispatch that is computerized, computerized dispatch, as opposed to person dispatch. I prefer to be when I'm dispatched to know what I'm going to make for that, for that run. But 2 weeks into it, I had to continue to hit up Tim, the guy that brought me on board, the one that told me it was 90 cents per mile and then $1, per mile for the 4 boxes and above. 2 weeks into it, he says, "Oh man," he said, "I forgot to tell you that it's not 90 cents; it's 85 cents." So that was the first red flag to me. One thing you don't mess with is you don't mess with an independent contractor's pay. And then another thing is that you do good business. You be honest and upfront from the beginning. If you are a trainer or VP or whatever you like to call yourself, you wouldn't miss the opportunity. First, you told me it was 90 cents because I asked him 4 times. I said, 90 cents for 3 miles and less. I mean, 3 boxes and less. And then it is $1 for 4 boxes and more. He said, yes. I asked him multiple times because I wanted to make sure I had it in my mind. Because I asked it at the time, but it wasn't making sense. Why the 10-cent difference? Just pay me the same. If it's going to be 90 miles, just pay me 90 cents per mile for everything. Or if it's going to be $1, just pay me $1 per mile for everything. So after 2 weeks, he said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you." He says, "Not 90 cents, it's 85 cents." I said, "Okay, red flag one." Because as I was saying before, I always write down my mileage from the pickup to the destination. I always do that, and I always calculate my own miles according to their system. So even at the 90 cents, I was always off by anywhere from 10 to $15 a week. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Because in my mindset, I was just glad that I was keeping track of it so that I got every penny that I deserved. Like I said, no big deal with that. So he took it down to 85 cents. It was a red flag to me because you led me to believe, for 2 weeks that it was one rate when you knew all along it was another rate. Or he did it was not 85 cents. He just said 85 cents so that I would stop having to correct him so much. Like I said, every paycheck, hey Tim, I'm off $25. I'm off $15. Okay, this is off $30. This is what the module should have been for this. And I thought, from what he was saying, he said if you drive with us for 7 days a week, you will make 200. You will make $2,100 a week. No, he said 2,700. He said because he pointed to another guy that was loading up his van, saying that guy makes $2,700 a week, but he drives day and night. I said, ain't no way someone's gonna make $2,700 a week driving day and night. Now, if you're driving day and night, 7 days a week, no days off, you got to be cleared at least 4 or more. So I was looking for the magical number that some of these courier services tell new drivers that they suspect are brand new and don't know any better. Just some big number that they tell new drivers to get the drivers on board to stay on board with them. Or I can make this much a week, and that's not true. And my first encounter with that was with Courier Net a couple of years ago. She pulled out a little statement, just a little statement. It was a fictitious statement. It was a fake statement that she pulled out and said, "Oh, this person makes." At the time, it was $1,200, and they drive a small car, which was not true. I barely made $300 per month per week. And then not only that, with Courier Net, they didn't pay you but every 3 weeks. There's a bunch of BS with it. I ended up leaving the company, but this review is about Capital Courier Services. And so he told me that, and then I had a run from Park Road in Charlotte going to Jefferson, North Carolina. I didn't know where it was at. Normally, the address is in the app or the address is printed on the box. So me just doing what I normally do, I click the app, the GPS opens it up. I go. I'm thinking I'm on my way to Jefferson, but it's saying South Carolina. I said this says Jefferson, North Carolina. I didn't know where it was at. I assumed from when it said Jefferson, North Carolina, I assumed it was in the mountains, but it took me to South Carolina. It said 175 miles, 2 hours and 50 minutes. I remember it exactly. So I said, okay, and I drove down there, 2 hours down there, and I got down there, and it took me to the middle of a highway, middle of a dark highway. And I said, it's no hospital here. Mind you, I didn't know where I was going, where I was at. Thankfully, I didn't lose signal, or I wouldn't have known how to get out of there. Called the gentleman Tim that brought me on board and trained me with the app, and he said that I had to deliver that blood. Red flag number two. First one was the mileage change, a 5 cent difference, which, like I said, it wasn't that big of a deal. But number two was I had to deliver that blood that night. Here's why that was a red flag to me. I'm an independent contractor. I don't have to do anything. And I was chatting with my friend. He said, "You need to take that blood back to the Red Cross and go home." And I said, "No." I said, "Tim said it got me." I said, "Capital Courier Services said they got me. They're gonna take care of me." So he said, "Oh, we're going to make sure we take care of you." And I should have known it was BS. And so what I did, I said, "Okay, I said, I'm going to keep track of my miles." I said, "I'm sure I'm gonna let them know. Let them know my mileage." So, of course, when I did all the driving, I got back home. They called me for another run when I got back near my home. And I told them, no, I'm done for the night. Because I drove 2.5 hours down there to South Carolina to a wrong address, which wasn't my fault. It was the Red Cross's fault. And then it kind of was Capital Courier Services' fault for not vetting the address and making sure I was going to the right place. But it seemed the way they treated the situation, they made it seem like I was at fault for it. Which the only thing I did was follow the address that they gave me. So apparently no one knew the address until I Googled it and found the address myself. Um, so after that run, I was kind of leery of doing any more runs until I got that settled first. So once I spoke to Tim, he stated that we got you. Don't worry, we're going to take care of it. Sorry about the mix up. It does happen, but we generally take care of our employees, our workers. It's okay. So that week, I didn't take nothing for like 2 or 3 days. I said no. And I felt it in my heart to just wait and let me see how they're going to handle this. So I was texting them, and I said, well, how? Because we have to do an invoicing each week. I did the invoice, and the invoice came up to be only $101. I said, whoa. I said, this isn't right. This isn't accurate. I drove 468 miles to correct a mistake that Red Cross Capital Courier Services made. And you're only paying me. This is how I said. This is how you take care of your employees. This is how you take care of your independent contractors. He said, well, let me talk to my boss. Let me go up higher up than me because I can make little changes. Um, and I'll get back with you. And then we, did a little texting back here and there. And he said that my boss don't normally make changes until the day before payday. I said that doesn't make any sense. It is. It's been going on a whole week. Why would your boss make the change the day before? So that was red flag number 3. So the first one was the pay. The second one was the address. Yeah, second one was the address. Well, that Jefferson one. This is red flag number 3. Him saying that his boss doesn't manually adjust things until just before payday. So that Monday we were talking and chatting, and he said, oh fuck, let me adjust it. So he adjusted it while I was on the phone. That run should have paid me $397. That was the mileage times the 85 cents per mile. I should have been compensated for going the wrong way the first time, then coming from where I was at, and him telling me I had to take it all the way up to Jefferson, North Carolina, um, incurring an additional 250 miles on my car. Gas. I spent all my gas money, trying to correct this, going on his word, saying that he would fix it. So Monday came, and he only put an extra $100. Capital Courier Service only gave me an extra $100 added on to the total. I was livid, but I was professional about it. Because Tim, normally when I put something that's not right, Tim normally corrects it. This time he said that's the best I could do. That's the best I could do. And then had the nerve to say that he thought that what they gave me was fair. No. Going one way, that from, let's say, from Park Road to Jefferson, Park Road to South Carolina, going at $174, that should have netted me $140 right there. Which means you guys only gave me 50, 50, $54 extra for driving, an extra close to 3 hours to make sure that blood got up to the hospital. So in 3 weeks, in 3 weeks, I'm out. I'm out. Because I said, I can't in good conscience continue with this company um, being treated that way. And not only that, I said if I were to take another job with them, I would give them permission to continue to mishandle my finances or be dishonest. Like I said, the pay, he said after 2 weeks, he said, I forgot to tell you, it's not 90 cents a mile, it's 85 cents a mile, which, like I said, is not a big deal, but it's the fact that now your store is starting to change. And I'm new. This is a new company to me. And now you're lying off the bat. And I see why they have a high turnover for drivers. Um, and then who knows? Had I stayed on, it's not 70, it's not 85. Got, a month later, it's not 85 cents. I apologize, Chase. I apologize, JD. It's 75 cents. And who knows? It would have kept going down. Who knows? But you know, that kind of atmosphere. I've been in that arena before with that kind of dishonest atmosphere and human dispatch, playing favorites and things like that. I've been there already, so I knew where he was going with it. So that's my story on Capital Courier Services here in North Carolina. You can deal with them if you want to. It's your choice. I would say do not deal with them at all. Just simply because they're dishonest and their pay is dishonest. Like I said, every week I gotta check behind my mileages, and every week is off, like anywhere from $15 or $40 every week. So what rate are y'all paying me? So it kind of means that they were not paying me the rate that he was even saying that I was supposed to be getting paid. So that's my story with Capital Courier Services here in North Carolina. Definitely comment, like, subscribe. Um, Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys might want to see more on. This is JD with JD Reviews signing out. Thanks so much for watching.